Well, guys, typical first snow of the year. Everybody's driving like friggin' idiots. I had a guy tailgating the crap out of me on my way here. Speed limit 65, and I was doing that. Probably shouldn't have been, but I was. And guy had his frickin' bumper right on mine. But I guess that's the way it goes. Nobody remembers what it's like to drive in this stuff, and everybody just loses their minds when it happens. I just heard on the radio that there's all kinds of accidents in Sioux Falls because people are being stupid. But just slow down, everybody. When the weather gets like this, you don't have any place that you have to be at that's as important as staying alive. So use your heads. And well, I don't think I'm gonna be getting corn today. It's snowing just a little bit too much for that, I think. But we'll get home and get suited up, I guess, and get to work on the shed and see what we can get done. I'd like to get that, like I said, get that door framed up at least, and maybe have some time left at the end of the day to go snowmobiling still, if we get enough snow. They were talking 2 to 4, now they're talking 3 to 6, so who knows what we're actually going to get. But with an old snowmobile like that, thankfully it doesn't take a whole lot of snow to be able to run it, so we'll see what accumulates on the grass. Right now it seems like, you know, the road is accumulating real nice, but we don't have a whole lot of snow on the grass. But I'm going to see if I can get back home without killing myself or without somebody else running into me, and yeah, we'll get to work. Alright, YouTube, we're driving in a winter wonderland again, and I'm headed down to the shed. I'm gonna try and hook up some of the wiring. I was only able to get one breaker because that's all they had at the store, but we'll try our different circuits, and at some point I gotta go up and get a bulb put back in that outdoor light, because when it got really windy the other day, the bulb actually fell out of the dang light. I don't know if it just vibrated it so much that it fell out or what happened there, but so we got all that wiring run in a couple days ago, thank God, because now the snow would have caused them a lot of problems trying to bury that wire. But yeah, so we'll get that hooked up and we'll see if our lights inside the machine shed and stuff work, and then probably stop for lunch, and after lunch then I'll go back to working on the garage door header, and hopefully we can get that done today. Alright, YouTube, we got good news and we got bad news. The good news definitely outweighs the bad news. The bad news is I can't get the darn snowmobile to run. It'll start on spray, but it won't stay running, so there's some carb needs to be cleaned or some adjustments need to be made there or something, but that's alright because I should be working instead of playing right now anyways, even though it's starting to look really perfect out there for an old snowmobile like mine. But here's the good news right here. You see that red light? We're going to follow this extension cord out the door and right over there. Now, if you haven't followed the rest of my videos, you probably don't know why this is good news, but we got the power ran down here the other day, and obviously it works. I just hooked up a couple of breakers, and my lights work. The 3-way switches work. I can turn it on and off at that door and on and off over here, and so everything so far works just like it's supposed to. And we got plenty of light in here. We probably could have gone with just 3 and it would have been fine, but plenty of light. So that's good. The thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to probably get the skid loader started, and I'm going to get the bulb back in that outdoor light that the bulb fell out of, and we'll see if that works as well. And otherwise, so far I'd call the electrical a success. I do have to get this switch right here that is dangerously and lively hanging there. I have to get that ran over to by the door here, because let's face it, we don't want to have to walk all the way over into that corner every time we want to turn the lights on when we come in here. So that switch will get put right over here, and then yeah, then the wiring in the shed will be done. Then all that'll be left is what's in the shop. So that's good news. I'm really excited about that. I haven't electrocuted myself yet, so that's good. And yeah, I'm gonna get that bulb in there, and then I'll get the switch run over, and we'll make sure that everything's working and call it good. Well, I guess it's just not my day for anything with an engine. I can't get this stupid thing started again, so we'll let her sit for a few minutes and then try again. I don't want to fry anything on the electrical trying it too much. So in the meantime, I guess I'll probably climb up the ladder, and although I was going to use this, I guess, so we'll see how that goes. But start attaching the boards onto the uprights for the garage door again. Well, YouTube, if this just isn't the story of my life, I don't know what is. Another one where we take one step forward and 300 steps back. I was getting up here I was gonna lift this up so I could get a light in that fixture, and we blew a hose on the hydraulic cylinder. And of course it was muddy the other day, and I've knocked a lot of the mud out of there, but that whole damn thing was packed with mud. And so I tipped the bucket down to lift the front wheel off the ground here. I'm gonna have to take the wheel off so I can get some more of that mud out of there, because I can't get in there right now to get where the hoses are to even see what broke or how it broke. So gonna have to get that wheel off, and then we'll see what we can do, and hopefully John Deere is still gonna be open by the time I'm done so I can get a hose. Otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. But typical luck for me. I guess we'll do what we can do to fix it and move on with our lives. Well, YouTube, it's just been one of those days. Went to fill the 4020 with gas, grabbed a can out of the garage that apparently still had diesel fuel in it from when we had the telehandler, which I told somebody to get rid of, and apparently it never crossed their mind. And I had a stuffed up nose this morning, and it was dark in here because I didn't have these wonderful lights hooked up yet. And so we had about, probably 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons of diesel fuel in there, and they don't like that. So I'm in the process of running the gas out of it right now, and we'll have to get it cleaned out so we can put gasoline back in it. But on the plus side, the lights in here are freaking awesome. I was not expecting it to be anywhere near this bright when it's all said and done. I mean, it is like daylight in here, and so that makes me really happy. All my switches work. I moved the switch over by the door now, and I got my light bulb put back up in here after getting the skid loader fixed, which isn't permanently fixed, but John Deere had a part that'll get me by for now. But I'm really happy to see that light work, because I don't know how the heck I'd get up there if I needed to do something different with it. But yeah, so I mean, you win some, you lose some. I had to steal the ends off of the auger, that little auger over there that we use for mixing feed. I had to steal the ends off of that to get the snowblower hooked up. But like I said, you win some, you lose some. Didn't really get anything done in the shop today at all. But yeah, tomorrow's another day, and got the skid loader back inside the shed, and that thing's a pooch in the winter, I guess. This is the first time we've really been able to use it, and I'm not overly impressed. We definitely probably should have put new tires on it, because you can't do much in the snow with it, that's for sure. But I would have liked to have gotten it up into the shop here so that I could use it to do some stuff inside the shop, and I couldn't make it up the hill. And I was planning on using the snowblower to blow the snow out of the way so that I could hopefully get up the hill a little better. Well, then the tractor thing happened, and so here I am. But it's starting to get really cold outside really fast, and so I'm gonna probably go layer up a little bit more and come back out, and I don't know, maybe do some wiring or something yet tonight. But yeah, so everything's looking good, and like I said, tomorrow's another day. All right, YouTube, it's been a couple days since it snowed, and it's starting to melt, which is unfortunate because I figured out what's wrong with the snowmobile, and I have parts on the way, so hopefully it snows again soon. But we got the rest of the trusses up, except for I think I need one more that I have to get put in there, but I have to shorten it up. It's a 21 footer, and I have to shorten it and then make a bracket for it to attach to that rafter right there, since that rafter's in the way of spanning the whole 24 foot. And then you can see we had to build one there out of 2x6s because we had to get one underneath that rafter there, and I wanted one as close up there as we could. We also got the garage door header done, as you can see here, and so the garage door is closer to ready to go. I've also done some other little things. I started wiring the outlets in along the bench here. I got the air hose reel up. Put a handicap style doorknob on that door so I quit smashing my fingers against the trim. And I picked up some stuff to do the outlet for the welder. I'll have to get some bigger conduit and some 6-gauge wire to wire that the rest of the way. But yeah, made some little progress, I guess. Now we got to figure out how we're going to shorten this thing, which doesn't look like it's going to be fun because I don't know if you can see this with as dark as it is, but it needs to be shortened right here, which conveniently lines up with one of those metal plates. And so I haven't decided if I want to use a Sawzall blade that's made for metal and wood and just try and cut through it all at once, or if I want to try and take those rafter plates off and cut it and then put rafter plates back on. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with that yet, but that'll be part of tomorrow's project, I guess. So yeah, I guess progress has been pretty slow the last couple of days, but hopefully tomorrow I can get this last truss up there, and then I think one of my next steps is going to have to be to frame the little corner here. You might be able to see here with my flashlight. I need to get the wood run over to this beam and then put tin on there. And the reason I need to get that done is so that I can get the rest of this insulation put back up and fixed, so that if it gets windy again, it doesn't all get ripped down again before I can get tin up. And then once that's up, then I'm gonna try and monkey my way up there. And I guess if you can see the squares there in between where those trusses are at, there's like an open square in the center of them. And that's for running like ventilation and stuff like that in a house. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like 2x4s or 2x6s and connect them together so that there's not any movement front to back. And then once that's done, I need to go up on this wall here and figure out how I'm going to put plywood up there to keep the insulation from falling over the edge. And then on the back side and on this side, it'll be really easy to do. But I got to get up there and do that. And then I also need to spray foam in between that eave strut where all that snow is hanging off there. I need to go up, and in the ribs of the tin, I need to spray foam in between the eave strut and the ribs so that insulation doesn't go out there. And then once all that is done, then I'm going to start putting plastic up on the roof. And then once the plastic is up, we can start putting all the tin up. And once the tin's on the roof, then the tin can go on the sidewalls as well. And yeah, then we'll kind of have the inside of this thing finished out to a point. And all that'll really be left after that is putting the garage door on it for big stuff. And then it'll be down to just doing some of the finishing wiring and obviously putting the lights up. But finishing the wiring and just building shelves. And once we got the furnace hooked up, that's another thing I have to do is I'm going to run, instead of running exhaust pipe through the roof of the shop and then through the roof of the shed and having all kinds of chances for leaks in the roofs, I'm going to run it out the side of the wall and then up to out the top of the building so that it runs on the outside of the building instead of on the inside. But I got to run the exhaust pipe for this. And then once we get the furnace going, get it warmed up in here, I'm going to paint all the OSB probably white and make everything look nice. Then once that's all painted up, then we'll hang tools on the wall and bring the bolt bins in. I've got bolt bins that are going to hang along the wall here. I'm also probably going to put a cupboard up over by the whiteboard. Probably one of those smaller ones right there. I'll tip one sideways, and that's going to be for like grease and then oil filters and things like that. And then we'll hang the grease guns from the bottom of it. And then I got to fit the press in here somewhere. That press might go right in this corner by the furnace, or it might go right on the door side of the furnace. And then we're going to track down an old couch and put an old couch right here, so we got a place to sit when we're out here if we're taking a break from working or whatever. And then once all that is done and the lights are wired and tools are hanging on the wall and everything's painted and looks nice, I am going to sit down and have a beer and maybe start working on a few projects, because by that point we'll be done in here. And so we'll crank the heat up and beat the cold of the winter, and we'll come out here. And I got my John Deere B, I need to get that torn apart because it lost oil pressure, so I got to figure out what's going on there. So that might be one of the projects that I bring in here once this is done. And I also have that three-wheeler I was going to work on. I need to get the motor put back together for that, and this would be a good place to do that as well. So got plenty of projects lined up for when this is done, so I'd like to just get to the point where this is done. But that's where we're at for now, and we'll see how I come. I got a couple papers that are due here in the next few days for school, and a few other things going on, but I'll see what I can do for video updates. But this will be it for this one, so if you want to like, share, and subscribe, and check back for more. I've also been getting back into doing some of the 1/64 farm toy custom videos, because I've been quitting a little earlier out here at night because it's been getting cold and dark, and so I've had a little bit more time to do that, and so feel free to check out those videos as well. And yeah, thanks for all your support.